It came! It finally came! The big one.
It's finally here, my Google Pixel 6. And I haven't even set this device up yet. I'm still daily driving my S20 FE. But before I start making videos about this, I want to tell you guys a little bit about what my expectations are and what my first impressions are just on the design and in-hand feel of this device. That way, if later down the line I have a poor or negative experience, you can come back to this video and see that I am in fact not a Google Pixel hater. In fact, I have been a fan of stock Android ever since I flashed my first Android phone back in 2009, 2010. And I did that because I wanted the stock Android experience because it was supposed to be a better, faster, more seamless experience. And since then, I've used a lot of different Pixel ROMs, and I just like the overall idea of the makers of Android making an Android device. In theory, it should give us a lot better performance, fluidity, consistency, better camera performance, better app compatibility in regards to that camera. And I'm hoping that all of this is true on the Google Pixel 6. Now, I specifically wanted a Pixel 6 instead of the Pixel 6 Pro because I think that the Pixel 6 comes in at the most competitive price point. Right now, I've been using an S20 FE. The S21 FE just came out, and other than having a Snapdragon 888, it's basically the same device. It's got a slightly different screen, it's got a different SoC, but cameras of the S21 FE are the same as they are on the S20 FE. Battery size is approximately the same. And just like that, battery size on both the Pixel and the Samsung are roughly the same as well. So being able to see what battery life is between these two devices is gonna be really interesting. And overall, I'm hoping that this device is kind of like a next generation of Poco F1. And what I mean by that is that I'm hoping that the performance at this $600 price point is going to be up there with other top tier devices for the majority of tasks. We already know from kind of synthetic benchmarks that for gaming, it's probably not going to be the best gaming phone, but I have to test that out and see what my average day-to-day playing on Call of Duty Mobile is like. Because my S20 FE has been fantastic. Camera-wise is something else that I've got really high expectations for. I use the Bluetooth headphones, I use the Bluetooth headphone microphone feature when I test all of my truly wireless headphones and do my mic tests. And I'm hoping that I have that feature on the Pixel 6 because that would be a feature that I use consistently on my S20 FE. Battery life. I'm gonna run both of these devices at 60 Hertz and see what their battery life is like at 60 Hertz. They have basically the same size battery, and because the Google Tensor chipset is made for this version of Android, we should theoretically get better battery life for normal day-to-day tasks. Charging and charging speed is something else that I'm kind of interested in. I have a bunch of USB-C power delivery chargers. I want to see how fast this device charges. I know that it will charge above the 18 watts that the old Pixel devices have, but I'm not quite sure how fast the charging speed will get on this device. So we're gonna test that out and see what 0 to 100% is like for charging speed. I also really want to see what this screen is like. I've heard some disappointing things that the screen is not that great compared to the Pixel 6 Pro, but for a $600 phone, my S20 FE is somewhere around 700 nits, and I think that's fairly acceptable for outdoor brightness and visibility. I have read and I have heard that this screen gets a little bit brighter for its peak max brightness, but that's left up to be seen. What this video is about is asking you guys, my audience that has seen me buy and sell and go through a ton of mid-range phones all around the $600 mark, what this experience is like and whether or not it's something I can recommend to people for a device to use for the long term. Because hopefully I'm gonna be taking this device with me to America when I move to America. And hopefully the performance, the consistency, the battery life, all of these things will make me satisfied as a above average, but maybe not a power user for the long run. And camera performance. Obviously, that's something that we definitely have to test out. I want to test out this versus the S20 FE and the S20 FE using Gcam to see whether or not this Google Pixel camera magic can compete with other really good camera hardware and Google Pixel's camera software.
So getting this device in hand, it feels thick and it feels dense and it feels heavy, and it feels a lot more like an iPhone 13 Pro than I would expect. Setting the device up was really fast and painless. You connect the Google Pixel 6 to whatever current Android phone you're using via USB Type-C cable, and it transfers almost all your data and accounts over. Fingerprint scanner, I got that set up pretty quick, but that said, I'm gonna have to do more testing before I can comment on how good and or bad the fingerprint scanner is.
What kind of stuff do you guys want to see? Let me know in the comment section down below. I am so excited to go ahead, put my SIM card in here and get going and using this device and really being able to tell you guys whether or not this is a good $600 phone, whether or not this is a flagship killer for the average consumer. Okay, until next time, it's been Mitchell. I'm fluent in tech, so you don't need to be. Peace.